Hello, everyone, and welcome to a topic you may have already heard of, which is about the Paper Mario games. Now, before I start anything about this topic, I'd like to say I'm sorry that I only have recording for Paper Mario. This is because it's the only game where I'd have an incomplete game save file, so I don't have to go all the way back to Bowser. And even Color Splash and Sticker Star. For Sticker Star I can't record because it's on 3DS. I don't know how to record on the 3DS. And for Color Splash, my gamepad, my Wii U gamepad doesn't work anymore. Therefore I can't play the game. My Wii U works, but not my gamepad. And I don't have a 1,000-year door. So, well anyways. Oh, and I'll also like to say thank you for the 1,000 views. I really appreciate it. To anyone who viewed my videos. Okay, now we'll start. Now, before again, I talk about my predictions for when the game is going to be released and if it's going to be a good game, let me sum up the rise and fall of Paper Mario. Now, the first game of the series was made in 2000/2001, depending on where you lived in, and was called Paper Mario. Never saw that one coming. Well, now this game was creative and the idea was executed extremely well. It had a unique combat style, cool bosses, and an interesting story. And of course, the best part of the game, in my opinion, were the partners, which were used outside and inside of battle, and had a big role in the main gameplay of the game. This was just a start, and of what seemed to be an amazing collection of games. As in 2004, Paper Mario The 1,000-Year Door was released, also short for Paper Mario TTYD. I don't know why I wrote that. Anything the first game screwed up on, the second game screwed it back in. The combat, story, bosses, and partners were all better. There were extremely minor issues with the game which kept it from being perfect, like the hideous Madame Flurry in Chapter 2 and the backtracking in Chapter 2 and the ultra easy boss in Chapter 2, but otherwise, it was a masterpiece of a game. My favorite part of this game were the Pit of 100 Trials and the various personalities of the partners you had throughout the journey. I know the Pit of 100 Trials you could do in the post game, but I tended to I don't have the game, but if I did have the game, what I would do was I would like to do the Pit of 100 Trials early so it's more challenging, if I only had the game. Well, then the Wii came out and brought us a new Paper Mario game called Super Paper Mario. Ooh. This game is basically the black sheep of the franchise in a way. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it doesn't mean it's a masterpiece, in my opinion. Its gimmick was weird yet cool of it being in 2D and 3D, literally. This game had amazing aspects, like the story and characters, which makes me want Mr. L more than Waluigi in Smash. Sadly, there were some cons of this game, like there not being a turn-based mechanic, excluding the Chin Chomp battle in Chapter 7, and Bowser being so OP that you don't use anyone else besides Luigi for the exploiting one dragon boss fight, which is optional, and the first dragon boss fight you don't even have Luigi. Well, overall, the third game was good, but not great, in my opinion. But at least it wasn't a disaster like the next two games, in my opinion. In 2012, Nintendo released a game known as Paper Mario Sticker Star for the 3DS, the first handheld Paper Mario game. I was about to say Super. Well, this game was hated by so many fans, and by so many other people who weren't fans of the games. This is a game with several average and many bad aspects, and I'm still surprised that it sold quite well. Some may include not gaining XP in fights, therefore no point of battling, no partners unless you count Kirsty, and probably the worst story in a Mario RPG game. Even the new Super Mario Bros. Games have a better story than this game. But the worst part of all, which I did say before, was the closest thing you had to a partner, Kirsty. Through the game, the only use of her is if you want to throw your 3DS off Mount Everest because you're that mad. Even at the end, where you're meant to sympathize, sorry, I can't say that word correctly, for her, you don't. I'm not gonna say anything about the story because spoilers, even though the game was made in 2012, and the story isn't even that good, but still spoilers. The only thing which I like about this game are collecting stickers and putting them in the sticker museum. Don't ask why I like it, as I don't know the answer myself. I just do. Now, the fifth title, made in 2016, being Paper Mario Color Splash, is basically sticker style but slightly better. The difference between the two is the difference between mediocre and average. Mediocre being sticker style, average being Color Splash. Common sense. I do have to know how amazing the aesthetics are in Color Splash, as they're the best in the franchise. But it kinda makes sense as the game was made in 2016. Now, if you're curious, if I had to rate all the games out of 10, I'll give Paper Mario a 9 out of 10. Thousand Year Door, 9.7 out of 10. Even though I don't own the game, I still think it's really good. Super Paper Mario, 7.5 out of 10. But to be honest, I do have the game, but I've never beaten it. I have 100%ed Paper Mario and Sticker Star, and I've beaten Color Splash but not 100%ed it. And for Sticker Star, I would rate it a 6.8 out of 10. And finally, Color Splash, a 7 out of 10. I know maybe I was a bit too harsh or generous based on the opinion for Sticker Star Color Splash, but it's a Mario game. It has to be at least not too bad. Well, so after all of that, will there be a new Paper Mario game in 2020? In my opinion, I'm pretty confident, as a year gap of every Paper Mario game is 4 years. Excluding the gap of the first two games, which still depends on what country you live in, I am unfortunately not sure if the game will be good. But if they revived Mario Party and kind of 3D Mario in a way, even though 3D World was good but it wasn't a 3D Mario game, they can do the same for Paper Mario. Well, that's it for now, so thanks for watching. See you guys later, and bye.